recently I did a video series called Just One Thing, an ode to summer makeup. And one of those videos was blush. I'll post it right here. And somebody did say, I'd like to see more, and we have some more. But it's really because these two products just came out. And it is from Huda Beauty and from Hourglass. I love this packaging for Huda Beauty. This, excuse my nails, there's no excuse, except I didn't have time to fix them. This reminds me of a big Jolly Rancher, and I want to put it in my mouth. And this reminds me of both the Ritual de Fille and the Surat Dewdrop foundations. It has the cap very similar. It has, this is very similar to the Ritual de Fille, and with both you press to dispense. Now, I already did an intro, and I did my application, I did everything, and I even put the one from Hourglass on the lips, and so far, so good. But I was a little distracted this morning, and I didn't have my basic information, so I thought I'd reshoot my intro and tell you a little bit about each one. The Huda Beauty is called Blush Filter Soft Glow Liquid Blush. It comes in 5 shades. And it is a lightweight liquid blush with buildable pigments and finely milled micro pearls for a soft focused, high impact glow. But I don't think it's too glowy. And I have to say, recently we've seen some blush highlighter, for instance, Rare Beauty in a powder. And while it was beautiful, Danessa Myricks, also beautiful. But I returned them both because a little too much highlighter for me. And I find as I get older, there are things that I don't want other people to see, let alone myself. I don't want to see it either. And it might not be big pores. It might be, for me, the face isn't 100% taut, and so there's a little bump right here. When that's highlighted, it shows. I think when we get older, we have to think of highlighter differently and go for things that are not as blingy, as beautiful as they may be. They might not be doing anything for us. And if you can't, if you love the bling, put it more strategically on your face. Now, the Hourglass is called the Unreal Liquid Blush. It is a liquid blush that visibly plumps with hydration and delivers unreal, buildable color for a natural finish that stays in place for up to 12 hours. That comes in 7 shades. I have the shade Whim and I have the shade Cotton Candy in the Huda Beauty. And now we're going to get into the regular intro. The application, I'll be doing some with a brush, some with my fingers, and I did bring in a dry sponge to help me out because one of them super pigmented. And then we'll come back in about 4 or 5 hours, not too late. It is going to be in the high 90s today, and I don't have air conditioning, so I'm just going to be a mush. But I will come back in a couple of hours and see how both of these are doing. Let's get into the regular stuff. Hello. It's hot and humid. This is not sweat. I washed my face, did my skincare, put on a base, and we're going to do a battle of liquid blushes. I've been so good with keeping my manicure together, and then last night it started to peel a little bit, so I peeled it, and then this morning this came off, and I took it off, and I just didn't have time. Excuse me. I haven't worn nail polish in such a long time because the color I love, this color, I couldn't find it anywhere, and I finally found it. I'll link it down below if you're interested. I apologize. I just didn't have time. I'm starting earlier than usual because hot and humid. 2 new blushes came out in the liquid form, and I thought I'd get both and do a little head-to-head. One is from Huda. It looks like this, and one is from Hourglass, and it looks like this. I kind of got similar colors, so we could have a little fun with it, even do blush all over the face, kind of, maybe not, because it's pretty pink. Now, here's something very interesting. This is 10 mil, and this is 4 mil. How is that possible? Very interesting. Let's take a look. I did not look up anything. I just want to see what's going on here. So, this is the Hourglass, and let me take off the tape thing. It looks like yay. So I'm guessing it's dispensing like this. I am right. Okay, I didn't have to press hard, which is good. I think we've all tried these things where you dispense from the bottom and you're pushing and pushing and pushing and finally you get your nail in there and it's broken. That's happened. And this is the Huda. I like this packaging, you guys, actually. This is like candy. Oh, I see. Okay, I had it upside down. So this smells like candy. Huda does scent, but this is sweet. I like its packaging. And these are the two colors. So this one far more intense than this one. And I have a new brush. So Ruffer did something with Alexandra Anel, who I hope I'm getting the name right. And she is doing brushes with him. So they sent this to me. It's the AA01. I'm sure you know who she is. She has 1 million followers. And she said it's for face, cheek. And I hope you can also do liquids. So in my experience, just gonna put some on here. In my experience, liquid blushes can be very, very tricky. Let me dispense a little bit more. I'm going to dispense. It does have a doe foot, so I guess they're saying, hey, directly to your face, because they can stain if you don't move right away, and you will get an uneven application. And now I'll just go over with my finger. It's pretty color. It's interesting. I thought it would be too light for me, but actually it's quite pretty. I'm going to do it to the other side, and then we'll do the hourglass. And this time I'll do it with my fingers because not everybody's going to be using a brush. I will say this scent is quite powerful. It's like strawberry shortcake. It's sweet and fruity. And I'm tapping and then rubbing off my fingers. So there is a lot of color to this product. You don't need a lot, even though it's a color that's pretty light on me. The light looks different, it's because it's much earlier and I don't have my big light on because it's really hot. And yeah. Okay, thumbs up so far. Let's do the same thing with the hourglass. This is going to be such a short video, you guys. Well, maybe I'll put it on other areas of my face, but we can try the lips. So this color is darker. It should be darker. So I'm going to bring it higher. And bring some right up here. I don't have any bronzer on. I just want to make sure ooh, okay. So I'm going to refresh. I think probably just a drop will actually do it, but you got to do it right away. And that's why liquid blushes can be so tricky. So again, very pigmented, use very little, and I do feel that I didn't dampen this beauty blender, but that's intense. Well, I think I got a more diffused, easier to handle look with this, so I would say play around, because the color is super intense. Not exactly what I was thinking it would be. I mean, when I compared both of these on the back of my hand, for sure, it seems odd that I'm doing a video with just two things. You guys, I should tell you, I don't want to get too into it, but there is some big stuff, very incredibly stressful stuff going on in my life that just started. The last year has been very hard for me, but right now, specifically very hard, and I'm not sure how often I'm going to be able to load up videos for you. I don't know. I love being here, I love doing videos, but there's some very serious stuff going on. And yeah, I don't want to get into it right now. Maybe I will on another video. So, wow. This wasn't really well thought out. I was thinking I'll get these two and I'll do the battle and I'll apply them different ways, and what? It's been 5 minutes and that's the whole video. What do I think? Let me disperse a little bit more and I'll tell you a little bit about the texture of the Hourglass. So again, 1 drop. That's all you need. It doesn't feel oily, but it has a dimethicone kind of feel to it. The Hourglass, I'll be darned if they feel very much the same. I would say that the Hourglass might have more slip over the Huda. Now the Huda is really blending out into my hand very nice. This could be really about the color, but Hourglass, Huda. So the Huda goes much, much further. They're both really, really pretty, and they end up looking on my hands kind of like a stain. So you know what I'm going to do? I am going to come back later when it's 100 degrees in here and just see how this has dealt with the heat, and if it's still there. I mean, I'm just going to leave it right here. So we'll be back in a couple of hours. I'm back, you guys. I have no idea what this looks like because I didn't bring my computer in, which I usually hook up. But it's well over 90, and in here, even hotter still. And it's 2:30, so it's 4 hours later. And I feel it's faded the teeniest bit, not a lot. And it's still there otherwise. It's pretty on the skin, and as you saw, there's a little bit of a learning curve for this one because truly this measurement, they did that on purpose. They're trying to tell you don't use a lot, and I used a color that is very deep in the first place, so I went a little too heavy with that. But I'm kind of surprised because the last thing that Huda did that was lips and cheeks, I didn't love it. I thought it was a little bit fussy on the cheeks, okay on the lips. There's another one that I really love, but I think I put it away. I'm trying to clean this out, not that it's helping. But the one from Valentino, lips and cheeks, I wore that a lot when I first got that. This isn't like that. That has a little bit more thickness. Both of these, as I said earlier, they have, this one seems that has a little more slip, a little more stretch to it, but they don't have that more gel-like or thicker texture. So they're easy to work with and not much of a learning curve. And this brush is nice, you know, it's denser than I would normally go for, but for cream, I think this is really, really nice. I'm going to do this Tom Ford highlighter, which is powder, looks like this. I will link it below. I don't know if it's still available or if it was a limited edition, but I'm just going to do that. This is such a pretty highlighter, and it has a little bit of pink depending on how the light is hitting it, so I think it'll go very nicely. So I think you have enough control. You can put the highlighter on the tip and then press down, and the shorter, oh, that's interesting. So here's your tip, and then here's shorter right here, and as you press harder, those shorter ones will diffuse as it moves outwards. You know what I mean? So far, I'm impressed. This is a really nice, handy little brush. If you're a person who has many brushes and you're always looking for something else, take a look. Or if you wear creams a lot, take a look, because I think that's where it sings. Yeah, very good job for her. I'm sure it'll do very, very well for her. You guys, and now I'm going back to my outro, which I shot when it was only 80 degrees. I'm doing my outro at the same time that I'm doing my intro instead of when I come back. So, you guys, I was thinking earlier today about other channels that have changed from reviewing makeup to other things. And I remember thinking, it's not really value for me to watch somebody make their coffee and talk about their new car, their new house, their new yard. It's not, I'm not really learning anything. There's nothing that I can apply to my life. And what I hope to do with this channel is help you, value added, to help you decide if you're going to buy something. So I try to keep my camera settings so that the color is as accurate as possible. When I first started watching YouTube, I would go buy something because I saw it on a video, and when I put it on in store, it was 14 shades deeper, and I try to have very accurate colors. I want to apply different ways with fingers, with brush, with a sponge, tell you how it feels, if it's fussy, does it play well with others, all the stuff that can help you decide, yes, I'm going to buy that. And I hope that I'm giving that to you. So, thank you so much for spending time with me. I do hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and wishing you good health.